February 9, 2004, University of Massachusetts nursing student Maura Murray, 21, packs a bag, withdraws almost all her money from an ATM, buys alcohol, and drives north into New Hampshire. Around 7:27 p.m., her black Saturn crashes into a snowbank on Route 112 near Woodsville. A local bus driver stops to help. Maura, appearing uninjured but shaken, declines assistance, claiming she's already called AAA. The driver goes home and calls police anyway. When officers arrive at 7:46 p.m., just 19 minutes later, the car is there, locked, with a box of wine and red stains on the ceiling. But Maura Murray is gone. No footprints in the snow leading into the woods, no witnesses seeing her leave, no activity on her phone or bank accounts. 20 years later, despite massive searches, FBI involvement, and endless theories, Maura Murray has never been found. This is one of the most baffling missing persons cases in American history. A young woman who vanished into thin air on a remote New Hampshire road, leaving behind only questions and a family that refuses to give up hope. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The Maura Murray case has obsessed true crime enthusiasts for 2 decades. Today we're breaking down everything: what led to her disappearance, what happened that night, the theories, and why this case remains unsolved. Let's dive in. Maura Murray was born May 4, 1982. By all accounts, she was accomplished and driven. She attended West Point Military Academy before transferring to UMass Amherst to study nursing. She was an avid runner who loved hiking in the White Mountains. But in the weeks before her disappearance, Maura was under significant stress. She had recently resolved a criminal case involving use of a stolen credit card. A few days before vanishing, she extensively damaged her father's car in a crash. And just days before her disappearance, she was working security at UMass when she received a phone call that made her burst into tears. The caller and subject of that call remain unknown to this day. On February 9, 2004, Maura's actions were deliberate and planned. That morning, she submitted homework electronically, then emailed her professors claiming there had been a death in the family and she'd be away for a week, a complete lie. She called the owner of a condo in Bartlett, New Hampshire, where her family had stayed before. She packed several days of clothes, toiletries, makeup, workout attire, and school books. Around 3:15 p.m., she withdrew $280, nearly all her funds, from an ATM. She then spent $40 at a liquor store on alcohol. By evening, she was driving north on Route 112 toward the White Mountains. She told no one where she was going. The crash occurred on a sharp curve on Route 112, a winding 2-lane road through rural New Hampshire. At 7:27 p.m., a local resident called police reporting a car in a ditch. School bus driver Butch Atwood was driving home when he saw the crashed Saturn and a young woman standing nearby. He stopped and offered to help. The woman, believed to be Maura, declined, saying she'd already called AAA. Atwood, knowing cell reception was spotty in the area and suspicious she was lying, went home and immediately called police. The crash site was literally visible from his house across the street. When police arrived at 7:46 p.m., they found the Saturn locked with nobody around. Inside were Maura's belongings, the box of wine, books, clothes. There were red stains on the ceiling and door, and a Coke bottle with red liquid. The officer noted the car had been locked. No blood, no signs of struggle, and critically, no footprints in the fresh snow leading into the woods. The bus driver, officer, and volunteers searched the immediate area with no success. Maura Murray had vanished in less than 19 minutes. The bus driver's brief interaction with her was the last known sighting. The day before, Murray had dinner with her father Fred and behaved normally. The night before her disappearance, she'd searched online for directions to Burlington, Vermont. So theories about where she intended to go vary: Burlington, Bartlett, somewhere else entirely. Her family believes she was heading to Bartlett, which connects via routes 112, 16, and 302. Fred Murray says Maura knew those roads like her backyard from years of family trips. Since February 9, 2004, there has been no trace of Maura and no activity on her cell phone or bank accounts. Despite massive searches involving police, volunteers, helicopters with heat-sensing technology, and countless investigations, nothing has been found. Private investigator Lou Barry, who's examined the case extensively, initially thought she might have gone into the woods, but has changed his view. There were no footprints into the snow. There was helicopter search with heat-sensing radar technology. Nothing has ever been found, he notes. Theories about what happened range from tragic accident to foul play to voluntary disappearance. Theory 1. Maura succumbed to the elements. She wandered into the woods, got disoriented in the cold and dark, and died of hypothermia. Her body hasn't been found because the wilderness is vast. But this theory has problems. No footprints, exhaustive searches found nothing, and it seems unlikely an experienced hiker would wander into woods in winter without preparation. Theory 2. Maura was picked up by someone who harmed her. She accepted a ride from a passing motorist, either someone she knew or a stranger who then abducted and murdered her. Police have stated they're treating this as a potential homicide. Sister Julie Murray believes my sister was met with foul play and is most likely no longer with us. This theory explains the lack of footprints and why she vanished so quickly. A rusty knife was given to Fred Murray in 2004 by a man whose brother lived near the crash site and had a criminal past, but this lead went nowhere. Theory 3. Maura disappeared voluntarily. Author James Renner proposed in his book True Crime Addict that she may have left with a tandem driver and started a new life, possibly fearing her credit card fraud case would prevent her from becoming a nurse. Her family strongly disputes this theory. Private investigator Barry says Maura had strong family ties. I couldn't believe all this time would go by and she wouldn't have contacted them somehow. Theory 4. Connection to other disappearances. Some have noted similarities to Brianna Maitland, who vanished in Vermont 1 month later under similar circumstances. Abandoned car, no trace. Also, Molly Bish disappeared in 2000 in Massachusetts. Her remains found years later. Could there be a serial killer? Police in New Hampshire and Vermont have repeatedly stated there are no links between these cases. The investigation has been frustrating for the Murray family. They've criticized police for treating it as missing persons rather than criminal investigation. They've pushed for FBI involvement. They've conducted their own searches. Fred Murray returned nearly every weekend for years to search. In 2009, the case was added to New Hampshire's newly established cold case unit. In 2024, the FBI released an age progression image showing what Maura might look like now at 42 years old. Sister Julie Murray has become the public face of the search, creating TikTok account at Maura Murray Missing with over 225,000 followers. She launched podcast Media Pressure, the untold story of Maura Murray, to control the narrative and share perspectives of those who knew her. Julie remains hopeful. I do believe the case is solvable. Multiple properties near the crash site have been searched over the years, including in 2019 and 2022, but nothing conclusive was found. The Black Saturn remains at New Hampshire State Police Headquarters in Concord, though the family hasn't been allowed to view it in recent years. The Murray family has set up fundraisers, pushed for historical markers, and refused to give up. What makes this case so haunting is how close Maura was to being found. If police had arrived 2 minutes earlier, they'd have seen her. If the bus driver had waited with her, she wouldn't have vanished. The window for whatever happened was impossibly small, less than 19 minutes on a quiet rural road in winter. Yet somehow, Maura Murray disappeared without a trace. 20 years later, Maura's family continues actively searching. They post updates. They follow leads. They refuse to accept she's gone without proof. Fred Murray, now in his 80s, has never stopped looking for his daughter. Our family will never give up looking for our daughter, he's said repeatedly. Whether Maura is alive somewhere with a new identity, or her remains lie undiscovered in the New Hampshire wilderness, or she met with foul play that night, her family deserves answers. So what do you think happened to Maura Murray? Did she accept a ride from someone who harmed her? Did she succumb to the elements? Or did she disappear voluntarily? Drop your theories in the comments. If you found this case as haunting as I did, hit that like button, subscribe for more missing persons cases, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and if you have any information about Maura Murray, please contact the New Hampshire Cold Case Unit. I'll see you in the next one.